we're not really seeing it right now. But we see the finished product with a lot of the talent they have on Raw, and the future isn't exactly bright. And there are a lot of people that feel the same way. Kenny Omega being one of them. And we can get into the comments what he said, but we're steering off course here. But as you said, the future is uncertain for Kyle O'Reilly. That's really what we got here. And Adam Cole is your new Ring of Honor World Champion it was about a 10-minute match, and it wasn't a squash match. I mean, you see Adam Cole pinning Kyle in 10 minutes. You think it's a squash. Oh, it was a really good match. It was back and forth. It told a good story, working over the shoulder, whatnot. I enjoyed the match, but it was a surprising finish, to say the least. Next, there was a 3-way tag title match for the IWGP heavyweight tag titles. Ishii and Toru Yano defeated the Guerrillas of Destiny and Makabe and Honma. This match, it was a decent match. If there's a reason for you to watch it, it is to hear how Steve Corino reacts to Tongoroa in the match, because apparently Tongoroa and Tama Tonga, they just curse the entire time. And it's kind of like, when you and I are on here, we have to pause the show sometimes because one of us pops the other one and then we can't stop laughing. The entire match is Steve Corino just losing because the Guerrillas of Destiny are such an angry team. It is well worth you just watch I would say the last 2 minutes of the match. It was fun, but it was fine for what it was. I didn't expect to see Yano and Ishii win the titles, but another loss for the Bullet Club on this card. Next was Kushida defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Title against Hiromu Takahashi, who is
Kamatachi.
And I didn't know why they changed his name until I realized he's now part of LIJ.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense. Kushida lost. It was a really good match back and forth, but it was a bit of a surprise, and Kushida lost the title. Didn't see that one coming. Next was probably my second favorite match on the card.
But RJ's favorite.
RJ's absolute favorite match. RJ and all of his friends' favorite match, because everybody loves Shibata. The story going into this match, I'll just wrap this up quick. The story going into this match was Goto could never win the big match. He was always a bridesmaid, never a bride, so to speak. He lost to Kenny Omega a couple times in the finals of the G1. Year in, year out, he would win, get a big win and then not be able to win the title. So him and Shibata beat the holy hell out of each other for what seemed like hours. Apparently it was only a 17-minute match. But he wound up taking the never openweight championship from Shibata. So good for Goto. I'm a fan of his work. I do like Shibata too. I just think if the crowd was so emotionally invested in Goto winning because they got behind him, I think it was the right time to put a title on him, and one of the bigger titles in New Japan. So next was this match scared me going in because everybody thought that Mr. Wrestle Kingdom, Mr. New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Japanese John Cena, if you will, Hiroshi Tanahashi was going to beat Naito, who had probably one of the best 2016s with LIJ, and take the title. However, Tatsuya Naito beat Hiroshi Tanahashi in what probably is the biggest win of his career. Really awesome match back and forth. Went about a half an hour, and the right guy won. Tanahashi will lose nothing by losing, and he looked strong, in losing. But Naito had to win. Absolutely, Naito had to win, and good booking on their part.
I heard that Tanahashi had new terrible theme music. Is that true?
I don't know, because when I rewatched on New Japan World, they overdub all the themes.
Oh, okay.
So it's very tough. It was the first time he changed in like 37 years, though. I know this is right. He also hit a sling blade on Naito on the apron, and it was tough to watch. That was really, really hard spot. But main event, Joe's current favorite wrestler, Kenny Omega.
That's not true.
With the Young Bucks versus Okada. People are calling this the greatest match ever. People are calling this the match of the year. Dave Meltzer gave it 6 stars. Ricochet said it was the greatest match he's ever seen. Rocky Romero said it was the greatest match he's ever seen. Will Ospreay said he can stop wrestling now because nothing will ever top that. This match went damn near an hour, 46 minutes, and I think everybody thought Kenny Omega was going to win. But one of the best matches I've seen in quite some time. Okada got the victory after 36 Rainmakers and all this stuff. No, a back and forth match, a lot of near falls. The storyline of the match was Kenny Omega only needed to hit one winged angel to win the title, and there were a lot of near falls without him hitting his finisher, which I thought was huge. It kept his finisher looking strong, and Omega looks, he did not lose anything in this match, and losing this match. He looked strong the entire time. He controlled the pace. He hit a back body drop spot where Okada back body dropped him from the ring through a table on the outside. He must have got 10 feet in the air. It was insane. He hit the Ibushi springboard twisting Asai moonsault. He hit a dragon suplex from the top rope. This match was unbelievable. The only knock on this match that people have was it was a little bit too long. And because I guess they said the beginning was slow. For my money, I would rather have a great match be a little bit too long than a great match be a little bit too short. You could always fast forward. You can't add to the match. So, to me, I think, well, I guess it's not 2016 anymore, but, Wrestler of the Year, you'd be hard-pressed to find a guy who's put on more 4 to 5 star matches than Kenny Omega last year. But he started off 2017 on the highest note you could, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. He's going to get the title eventually. He has to. Okada said to come from Okada, he said Kenny Omega is the best American wrestler in Japan ever, which is a pretty
incorrect statement.
Well, it's really an opinion, so.
Yeah, an incorrect opinion. Okay. Can we? Can I don't understand how people can call it match of the year. It took place on January 4th. Can everybody calm their jets on that? It's the first good match of the year, and there's plenty of other ones on the show. I don't like when people say stuff like that. Match of the year. It's January. Let's.
Okay, well, if we're doing rolling 12, it's the match of the year.
Rolling 12.
Yeah.
No. 2017.
What?
It's New Year. We just started a new year.
Oh yeah, it's the match of the year so far. There hasn't been a better match this year.
It's not
if you were doing rolling 12, I would say that's a match of the year.
Okay.
Let's talk about your issue with Kenny Omega. I feel like you have a lot of problems with Omega.
I think he's a little bit overpraised, I guess is what I would say. And I don't know if it's because everybody likes him because he's in Japan and he's talking himself up or talking up the fact that he can be, this great, all-time wrestler without having to go to WWE and all that type of stuff. I mean, good for him, but I don't know if maybe he gets extra love because of that stuff from like the smart fans and people in Japan. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, all this type of stuff. I mean, I haven't seen a match, so I can't give you my personal first-hand opinion on it. I'll have to watch it maybe when it gets posted on like a free site or something like that. But
I shared it today on Facebook. Actually, I'll post it on our. I can post it on our Facebook page for the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast if you guys want to watch it.
Yeah, so that's fine. But like, that type of stuff is like the whole. Dave Meltzer gave it 6 stars. I mean, come on, guy, let's hold off for a few. Let's what I mean, like maybe watch it again a day later instead of I don't know. I mean, someone else 411's right. Larry Zonka gave it like 4.5, and he gave I think Naito and Tanahashi a better rating in that match. So I mean, obviously it's all a matter of opinion, depending on who likes what better. So
I would rather listen to your Purell dispenser's opinion on professional wrestling before I listen to Larry Zonka. That Purell would give me a better, unbiased opinion. And the other J-Bron on that site, who's the other guy that reviewed Wrestle Kingdom?
I don't know, Kevin or something like that?
Yeah, Kevin sucks.
Yeah, I don't read
his stuff. He was such a douche. For all intents and purposes, like people that go in expecting negative things or go in with a negative opinion, like when they write a review, you can see it. And like even when we review Raw, like we'll tell you what sucks. But we're also going to praise what's really good. Like, and not just Raw, but like in Smackdown's the same way. We'll talk about that in a second. But this guy was like, 2 stars, 2.5 stars, 7.5. You suck, 7.5. I'll give you 7. Never mind. Wait, what a putz. God, I just, there are the people, there's like a fine line, right? There's people that are all on New Japan because they're not WWE. There's people that just think New Japan is garbage because it's not WWE, and then there are people down the middle that I like to think myself as. I watch like everything, and I'll tell you what's good and what's bad. I mean, on this show, there is some stuff you can cut out. Cody versus Juice Robinson was whatever. A couple of the 6-man tag matches were good, but for the most part, your last four matches on the card: Okada versus Omega, Naito versus Tanahashi, Goto versus Shibata, and then Takahashi versus Kushida. You won't find 4 better matches on any show. It's too early for the 5 count. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to find 4 better matches in a row on any show for the rest of the year. That's a very easy prediction. But you also shouldn't, because Wrestle Kingdom, as I'm sure people know if they don't, Wrestle Kingdom is New Japan's WrestleMania. It's the biggest show of the year, and it kind of... Whereas in the WWE, everything leads up to WrestleMania, in New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom kind of kicks off everything else. And they go to New Year's Dash, and they have a lot of big events, and they announce a couple of events in America. So this is kind of the start of something big, and, we'll see where it goes from there. But it's definitely a different... Instead of building up to Wrestle Kingdom... It's like Wrestle Kingdom happens, and then the next show, even something bigger happens, and they kind of go up, and they have all their tournaments and stuff like that. So you have to look at it from a different perspective, but I really think this year, at some point, Kenny Omega is going to hold the IWGP Heavyweight title.
What if we go back to your rolling 12 theory, and the last 4 matches from Final Battle this year, which was O'Reilly and Cole for the title in a no DQ.
Yep.
The Bucks versus the Briscoes, the 3-way TV title match, Dragon Lee, Will Ospreay, and Marty Scurll, and the 6-man tag finals.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Still better?
Only because the 6-man tag finals were good to me, but they didn't kind of blow me away.
Okay, and all 4 of these blew you away?
I would say Kushida versus Takahashi was better than the 6-man tag. I would say... Okada and Omega was the best out of all of them. And then the others are pretty even. So
okay. All right.
It's not a theory. It's just what it is. Was that from Waterboy? Like, it's not a guess. That's what it's going to be. Is that what you predict the score? Anyway, now that we're done bickering, let's talk Raw. This will be an easy transition. No, it actually wasn't bad. Raw was a decent show this week. I just talked for like an hour. You talk about Raw. I'm going to sit here and sip my water.
No, thanks. Well, I don't want to run through all the minutiae of it. But
what did you say?
The minutiae?
Inertia?
Minutiae.
That sounds like something you would douche.
What? I don't understand any of that, actually.
That means.
So the matches that were advertised for this show, well, the one match that was advertised the week before was Braun Strowman against Sami Zayn in a last man standing match. So that was the longest match on the show. It went a little over 15 minutes. Strowman beat Zayn with a running power slam on the floor. He actually gave him 2 in a row, back to back, to give him the win. So it was pretty. I would say it was a pretty good match for those 2 guys. I mean, obviously Strowman is not known as an elite worker in any sense of the word. Sami Zayn is. So I thought...
want to let you know that Facebook just let us know that this is our most liked video ever.
Oh. So 2 likes. Is that what we got?
Yeah!
Nice.
Setting the bar low. Anything above that is good for business. 2017 is kicking off for us. Look at that.
Double the output.
Double the output. Sorry, continue about how Sami Zayn is good and Braun Strowman's a refrigerator on wheels.
Yeah, so Strowman got the win here. It went long. It went pretty long, 15 minutes. But I thought it was pretty well done in the sense that Strowman was the right guy, I guess, that needed to win here, and Zayn didn't really get squashed or anything like that. He looked pretty good. He had some good comeback spots, some good hope spots. They brawled up the ramp into backstage area and all that type of stuff. And it took 2 of Braun's finishers on the floor to finish him off in a last man standing match. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty well done. The idea, I guess, is to get Strowman over. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble this year, and I think he's a legitimate threat to at least have a chance to win it. I would say he's one of the favorites.
I think also Sami Zayn is the right opponent for Braun Strowman because he could sell to anybody. And what he was able to do, he did a very good job at getting Braun over. He bumped like a son of a bee sting out there.
Yeah. So I think that was solid. The other thing on the show was they had a U.S. title match. They put the U.S. title match between Roman Reigns and Chris Jericho. And then the opener was Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, where the loser was banned from ringside, interfering in that U.S. title match. So Rollins beat Owens by DQ after Owens hit him with the ring bell. That was about an average match to open the show. And then later, Reigns beat Jericho in about 13 minutes with a spear, which is not any different than we've seen happen about a dozen times over the last few months. So, I think that stuff was solid. Carl Anderson beat Cesaro. I thought that match was pretty good. They gave it some time, 10, 11 minutes. Seems like they're setting up the club against Cesaro and Sheamus as the next tag title feud.
I think it's anything without the New Day is good for me. And I think a lot of people don't know what Carl Anderson's capable of as a singles wrestler, because they kind of just group him with Anderson and Gallows. I'm sorry, they group him with Gallows, but Anderson before he